Week 11 is almost completely in the books. Let's talk about some stuff that happened and show you on film. My name is Chris. Thanks for watching. We tend to call it melancholy and the infinite wide receiver 3 sadness, which is why we shouldn't overreact when an ancillary receiver has a big game. But I wanted to start today's show by showing you just what Calvin Ridley is capable of. Here he's split right. Number 24, James Bradbury, good corner, one-on-one. It's a nice, subtle, nasty route for 26 yards. And if we watch the replay of it in ISO, you'll see a first step to the outside gets Bradbury off balance, speed to the inside, Bradbury flips to the inside, and Ridley presses the route and then goes deep and out. That is a man's route. Here's Ridley's touchdown. It's a good job by Matt Ryan stepping up in the pocket to give this long developing route time. So sure, you need blocking here, but let's again ISO the route on replay and you'll see the slant, hard stop, then he goes to the out. Oh baby, Ridley had a real good rookie year and he's been quiet lately, was not quiet Sunday. The game is pretty much out of reach by this point. He's lined up top of your screen, a pretty basic route combination. He runs the slant, running back runs the flat. But let's ISO again and watch the replay. That's a pretty great cut to give Ryan a window. And remember, last year, if Ridley had one problem, it was hands. He only has one drop so far, 2019, and this is a really good hands catch. Here he's lined up bottom of your screen. It's just a go route, and this is more about the throw because it's a perfect drop in the bucket, but it's also about Ridley's speed and his coordination to find the ball. Calvin Ridley's going to be a star in this league. Now, of course, receivers pop and disappear the next week all the time. Ridley hadn't topped 5 catches or 100 yards in a game since week 2, so this performance doesn't mean that Ridley becomes an utter must-start week 12. But against Tampa, boo, they're lousy on defense. More importantly, suddenly the Falcons are dealing on offense. I'm pretty sure Calvin Ridley is about to get a bump in my ranks for next week. Hey, we are sponsored by BetTSI. If you've been looking for an online sportsbook where you can play the games, this is the 5th season I've played at BetTSI. It's great. For instance, let's say you were going to be watching the Monday night game from Mexico, Chiefs-Chargers, pretty good one. Maybe you don't have a natural rooting interest. Putting down a couple bucks on the game will give you a rooting interest, I promise. Last time I checked, it was Chiefs minus 4.5. What do you think? If you're interested in playing tonight, we have 2 promo codes for you. Go to BetTSI.com. If you're a frequent player, use the promo code HarrisTube. They'll match 100% of your deposit. If you'd rather make a couple of bets and then maybe cash out, use the code HarrisTube5. They'll match 5% with no extra volume requirements to cash out. Either way, BetTSI.com. Okay, we're back at it. Marlon Mack was on his way to a spectacular day against Jacksonville. He certainly has a good offensive line, and that helps a lot. But kids, this touchdown run is not about line play. This is about 2 360-degree spin moves and the kind of toughness and power that Mack simply did not show as much in 2018. In my notes, as I was watching this game live, I was raving about how good he looked, and really, if you started Marlon Mack, he still gave you a great day based on a whole lot of good runs in the first half. Yeah, we'll just show you this one real quick because I love the hesitation move and then the explosion to get up to the next level and gain 13 yards. And yes, this run is probably more about just having an awesome push from your offensive line. When a back has this much room to get going and to pick a lane, and he's got good acceleration, he's going to make big plays. But here's where it came crashing down for Marlon Mack. It's another big lane, another fine run. It doesn't look like much happened, but Marlon Mack fractured his hand on this play. You can see when he heads out of bounds, slaps 5 with a fan. I hope the fan didn't break his hand, but no, he grabs the other hand. He broke it, and for fantasy and the Colts are in some trouble. So here's what the workload looked like after Mack's injury. Now, the thing to realize is that Mack's normal backup, Jordan Wilkins, was inactive with a bad ankle, and the Colts play Thursday night against the Texans. Also, Hines is the one who scored on a red zone carry, while 48 of Williams' yards came on a play that was, let's just say, not impressive tackling. I will talk more and show more about potential Mack replacements in our waiver show coming up on Monday evening. Williams is probably the ad. I'm almost sure that's going to be my recommendation. I will take a bit more time, break down some more of his tape for you on that show later today. Okay, we wanted to check in on the Cowboy receivers because in Sunday's Lions game, the guy you'd expect to be very good, Amari Cooper, only had 3 for 38. And certainly, sometimes that just happens. But in this case, watching that game showed me that Cooper flat out was not right. So these first 2 plays we've been showing you, that's just good defense. But on this play, with Cooper lined up top of your screen, he runs an arrow route, and not all that great of a route, not that aggressive running of a route, and makes his first catch of the game and takes a hit and goes out of bounds. So you can just see from the way he gets up and comes out and then stands there on the sideline, he just wasn't right. As a result, Michael Gallup went back in time and became Dallas's number 1 receiver the way he was before Cooper showed up and made play after play. On this one, I mean, he's one-on-one against a good corner, Darius Slay, and I'm not going to say that's an amazing route. Post corner, he's pitter-patter his little feet to stop, right, to change direction, but he gets open, and it's a big play. With Cooper basically playing half of Dallas's snaps from that point forward, how about this play from Michael Gallup? He's not a burner. I don't even think he's that great of a technician, but he is about as physical as a mid-sized NFL receiver can be, and obviously has some pretty extreme ball skills and coordination. This was called for interference. It didn't matter. Caught it anyway. And listen, in Cooper's relative absence, Randall Cobb also had his second straight huge statistical day, getting up over 100 yards, but just realize that this was 49 of those yards. And listen, it's awesome when our guys do big things after their defenders, fall down. But when considering how to cope with a less than healthy Cooper next week in New England, I mean, I don't love any of them, but if Cooper's active, he'll be ranked higher. But as a replacement, if Cooper's maybe not active or maybe not healthy, I will be thinking Gallup over Cobb. Okay, now how about just a few more things that stood out from actually seeing it with my own eyes? And if last week the thing I was most excited about with Lamar Jackson was him throwing a beautiful touchdown, this week I'm more excited that Kyler Murray finally did this. He was pretty unwatchable as a passer, checking everything down, blowing a big lead, but he got the lead temporarily back with this incredible run, with this speed play, just something we haven't seen that much of in Murray's rookie year. But when that kid puts everything together, eventually, he's going to be scary. I'm not the biggest Jameis Winston fan, and he was overall awful against the Saints, but heaven knows we're not going to blame him for this interception. O.J. Howard, all people do is praise you and wish there was a bigger role for you in Tampa, and you do this? Bruce Arians benched him after this one, and you'd have to believe the doghouse could extend, into the spring. No reason to be starting O.J. Howard again anytime soon, and in a lot of leagues, you can probably drop him. But how about some receivers who can catch the ball? Just fun plays I was glad I saw with my own eyes. Courtland Sutton, he seems to do it just about every week, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. And, there was good volume behind his 113-yard effort on Sunday. He's a star in the making, too. And this play, how did he catch that ball? Maybe should not have been thrown by Brandon Allen, but wow, Courtland Sutton, ball skills. Julio Jones may have taken a backseat production-wise to Calvin Ridley, but I sure do love that when Matt Ryan sees a mismatch, as in Luke Kuechly trying to cover Julio Jones, he will take the shot. Julio hasn't found the end zone since week 3, and that is frustrating, but if you think touchdowns aren't coming the rest of the year, I don't think you've been watching Julio Jones play for very long. And how about we wrap it up with a couple from poor rookie Terry McLaurin, who is trapped in a loveless marriage on a bad Washington team. Not a real workable solution in Washington right now. He's real fast. This one didn't count. He got behind the defense. Obviously, it was offsetting penalties. Would have been nice. It stood out to me only because of what happened later in the game. This one is just cool and amazing. And what in the what? How did he make this catch? In fact, he makes this catch, going up the ladder, taking it away from Marcus May, staying in bounds. Wow. There's no doubt that Terry McLaurin was undersold as a gadget and special teams player at Ohio State. Hopefully next year we get a functional enough offense for him to shine more, because we have seen enough to know that this kid, fast and ball skills, has a chance to be really, really good if his offense gets better. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.